Hey, art students. I'm Mary, your librarian, and we are going to talk briefly about some of the resources that we have in our online database for art students. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here, and let's go to the front page of the college website. So this is the front page. sctcc.edu. You go up to current students and library. So this is the library's front page. I've got more information here, a quick search guide and some YouTube videos about how to search for things in the catalog. But let's just dive in. So we're not really going to search the whole library catalog today, but when you are using the library databases, if you're not on campus, be sure you start by going up here where it says sign in. Star ID and password. Sign in with your Star ID, your password. If you don't do that, these databases that cost a ton of money, they don't know that you've been paid for. And you'll get halfway through your search and all of a sudden it just stops working. And they don't really tell you why, but that's why. That's the reason. All right, so we're not going to search the regular catalog. Instead, we're going up to the top here, right in the middle where it says databases A to Z, and then it pops open another screen. So scroll down past the lovely picture of our lounge area and down to where it says library databases A to Z. And we just open that. So when you click on it, it just opens this big list of databases. Now, my name and email are right there. So if you get stuck anywhere, send me an email. You can always come by my office. If you can't make it to campus for any reason, you and I can Zoom and make sure that you feel really confident in your searching and that you're finding the best material for yourself. All right, so there's a little preliminary information, and then our first topic is student research. Now, I'm going to keep scrolling down the page while I talk, but in there might be some interesting things that you might want to look at. There will be historic images. There are images of from Minnesota. There are images of like scientific things. They're not just images, but you can search the database and tell it, just give me images. That could be interesting. All right, so now we're about halfway through it, and we're down to the second topic, which is called news and magazine resources. The first database listed under that is called the Explora Library, and we are going to click that. All right, that also opens here in another window, and it takes a minute sometimes for it to search. The reason that I like Explora though, and if you scroll down, this isn't a very big page, scroll down to maybe halfway where it says Explore Topics. Under that, you see these 5 images, and I just refer to these as boxes because they're like boxes of content. So the first box is for you, arts and music. Click. All right. So there's a nice image there at the top. I don't know what that is, but it looks very pretty. So we're going to keep coming back to under that. There is they call it a breadcrumb trail, and you can see the links of where we've been. All right, so we started on the home page. Now we're on the arts and music page, and it says 10. So there are 10 topics we could explore here. So actors might be interesting. Architecture, that might be valuable for you. Art history and theory, artists, I think that's going to be useful to you. And then down at the bottom, the last one on the right is visual arts. A lot of interesting, cool things there. So let's start there. Let's look at visual arts. So I'm just going to click that box. Okay, back up. So we have an image. Under it is our breadcrumb trail, home, arts and music 10, visual arts. Ooh, look at that. We have 10 more boxes under visual arts. So art by culture is the first one, artistic techniques, it goes on. So look through those and see what you might be interested in. Oh, masterpieces. I like masterpieces. As an art student, that might be valuable for you. Now, when you open, I clicked that. So when you open it, usually the first thing you will get is it will say search results for masterpiece. And there will be 3 items. There will always be a box of 3 items. Now, coincidentally, one of those 3 might be perfect for you. Probably not, though. So To the right of that, you'll see view all results. All right, now this looks a little bit more like a traditional search that you would do in a library database. We've used these tools with these boxes to kind of help us focus and like, oh yeah, we know what I actually wanted was masterpieces all along. All right, so near the top of the page, there's all filters. We're going to do that in a minute. Full text, that's almost always defaulted that it's on. Just be sure that it is. You don't want just like the title or just the abstract. You want the whole article. Give me the whole thing, or don't bother because I don't need just a piece. Peer reviewed. Do I need a peer reviewed? In art, you will often not need that, but if for some reason you need a peer-reviewed article, something that has been, before it got published, it was checked by the peers of the author to just make sure that it's probably correct, it seems good. And in some classes that matters a lot. In this one, it probably doesn't, but always, listen to your instructor because they may have a reason. The fourth box there is a drop-down menu of all time. I always want all time. But you could narrow it to just the last 12 months, sorry. The past 5 years, the past 10 years. I never do that unless I have a really specific reason. And the really specific reason might be your instructor said, only things in the last 5 years. Source type, I might only want academic journals. I might only want magazines. Let's see. Trade publications might be valuable, but for me, I don't really care. I'll just take whatever it is. So now I slide myself toward the left there on this same line, and back to that all filters. So the all filters, when I click that, it pops up over here on the right side. For the most part, all of this it's kind of what we just said. I would really skip over basically everything until you get down to subject down at the bottom. So the subject, this is all the keywords that are in all of those pieces. Let's see, we found 3,286,773 items. I'm not looking at 3 million things. So each one of those 3 million items, though, in our search has keywords. So I'm going to say, you know what? I want artists. I want paintings. I want art museums. I want graphic arts, maybe graphic arts. I want museums. I have art museums and also museums. I want painters. And what else sounds interesting to you? I like drawing. And I'm going to say that's all I want. I click down at the bottom, update selections, and then I click apply. So while it's searching there, in my search, I had 3 million something results. Now it says my results are 70,867. Cool. I'm not going to look at 70,000 things though. So slide yourself over to the right from results, where it says results 780, and say show that drop-down menu, 50 items. You can scroll through 50. So what it gives you is the title for each individual item in the database. It gives you the title, some bibliographic information, and then a quick, like a piece of a sentence usually. Sometimes it's a whole sentence. You can scroll through that and look at 50 of them in like 5 minutes. No big deal. You're not doing high level research. You're just kind of scrolling down and saying, oh, that sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. That doesn't sound interesting to me at all. So the second thing I see is a title called The Misunderstood Masterpiece. That's cool. I have no idea what that is. Let's click that. Okay, so I'm clicking it. It's thinking. I can now access that. I can download it. If you scroll from I'm up here near the top with the title. If you scroll toward the right, I can cite this. So I just click on cite, and then you use your whatever citation format your instructor says. So it's always either APA, I'm opening the drop-down menu, APA or MLA. So let's say it's MLA. So I go ahead and I click MLA. Under that then is this nice box with the correct citation. So under the box, it says copy to clipboard. I could just click that. Great. Now I have the correct citation. I can just open my Word document and I put that right in the Word document, or I can if I don't have my paper yet. I can just open my email, just put this in my email, and there we go. All right. You can open the whole document, look through it, obviously read that article. That would be fantastic. But what I would like to do is that's the very quick overview of doing some good searching. But I want to go back to the front of this. So I'm back at my big box that said arts and music. And I just hit my back screen, but you could just start a new search if you want to. It's no big deal. Um, so these are my 10 boxes again. So that was my box that said visual arts, but there's also a box that says art, history, and theory. I think this one might be valuable for you. Under that, there are 5 more boxes: art collecting, art history, art materials, medium, artistic concepts, artistic movements. Neat. I could look at any of those and say, yeah, I feel like looking up more information about artistic movements. That sounds amazing to me. But I don't feel that. So I'm going to back up here again to my 10 boxes under arts and music. And I want to look at some specific artists now. So I'm clicking artists. Ooh. So under my little breadcrumb trail here, I have a home link, link back to my arts and music. And then as I continue to narrow, I have 33 artists. All right. So they've been sorted by first name, alphabetically by first name. That's an unusual choice, but sure. So do you feel Andy Warhol? Do you feel Edgar Degas? Do you feel Frida Kahlo? Who do you feel in your heart here today? I feel Rembrandt. So under this now, this might be kind of handy. I have my 3 boxes. There's always the 3 boxes. I can view all results and I can narrow and focus this the way I want it. We did that. But before that, they have what they call the topic overview, and that's just a biographical. It says it's from Salem Press Biographical Encyclopedia, and it's usually something from like an encyclopedia, like Britannica or like Wikipedia, but better than Wikipedia. This would be written by people who actually definitely know what they're talking about, so you know you're in good hands. Okay, so we're exploring that. We're doing a topic overview. Then we have our 3 boxes under search results for Rembrandt, and we could view all results and do that. I keep scrolling down, and sometimes they will also have what they call featured content, and that's usually ebooks. So here you can see they do have 2 ebooks. One is called The Rembrandt by Edith Wharton, and one is about called Mary Cassatt. I got to be honest, not sure why that's there. Sure. All right. And then underneath that, they have multimedia assets. So to the right of the multimedia assets topic, it says view all. So it says that there are 37, and these are 37 different videos. So I don't know who did these, where they are, but if I open I'm going to say I'm doing it. I'm clicking on view all 37. These are videos, and it will say video at the top. Or it will say video or still image or article or whatever the material is. These are all videos, and I could open any of these. These all have dates on them. So this first video, it's a preview of Tintin, and I'm sorry, I'm so badly butchering this. In a Rembrandt auction, and it was published June 20th, 1971. Ooh, nice and old. Here's a video about an unknown Rembrandt painting being discovered. That doesn't give a date, but I bet if I open that, it'll say the date on it. Yeah, I don't care if things are a little old. I mean, it's not like Rembrandt is painting new paintings. It's fine. I'm going to learn more about that. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing now. It was a very quick overview of a few of the art materials we have in our electronic materials. We have so much more. We have paper. We have a bunch of things in our regular library catalog. They're all here for you to use. And if it seems overwhelming, you're just not sure, you just want to save some time and not blunder through it all, stop by my office anytime. This is my office, so you know it. And if you can't make it to campus, send me an email. You can ask me a quick question, or you and I can set up a Zoom session. We can Zoom for 5 minutes just to look at something, or we can Zoom for an hour and really walk through your individual search. I'm literally here to help you and make sure that you feel confident in your searching. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the library and in the next video. Bye bye.